Hello, everybody. Thank you so much for tuning in tonight. My name is Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. I am coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you live coverage of tonight's high school varsity boys hockey contest between the visiting Lancers of Malden Catholic High School and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. It is the last game of the season for Brookline, and it is senior night as the Brookline Warriors will be honoring their 4 members of the senior class of 2024, Tommy May, Seth Walpowitz, and captains Henry Ames and Noah Gurdon. You can see as the Zamboni is making its rounds around the rink that players are already gathering around the tunnel. We see some parents lined up along the benches as we'll have, some pre-game ceremony and then get set to get the game underway. Unfortunately, there will be no trip to the playoffs for Brookline this year, as the last power rankings came out last Friday, and Brookline came in ranked 37th in Division I, so outside the top 32. And with their record currently standing at 4-12-3, they won't be able to make it with a 500 or better record. So this will definitively be their last game of the season. For Malden Catholic, a trip to the playoffs is in their sights in Division II. Despite a rough 1-17-1 record, they came in 27th in the Division II power rankings that came out last Friday. So they will be playing in the Division II state tournament this year. Brookline hoping to end their season on a high note. They're coming off a narrow 3-2 loss to Framingham last Wednesday in a game that I was unfortunately unable to cover as a playoff game I was scheduled to cover on last Tuesday, got rescheduled to that Wednesday, and you got to prioritize playoff games over regular season games. But I am here now, happy to be here for the season finale and senior night. Happy to be here for the last game of Tommy May, Seth Walpowitz, Henry Ames, and Noah Gurdon's high school hockey careers. At this time, I'd like to once again say thank you to all those tuning in tonight. Remember, if you end up enjoying this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel to stay up to date on all my upcoming live streams. Not a lot upcoming now as the winter season comes to a close, but the spring season around the corner coming up in April. Some of these players going to be playing some spring sports. Obviously, hockey and lacrosse have a lot of mutual players. I know the Ames brothers play lacrosse. I know Dylan Katz is the starting goalie for the Brookline boys lacrosse team and figures to be one again. I know Ryan Wilson, big lacrosse player for Brookline. Haven't been booked yet for any lacrosse games this spring, but hoping to get the chance to cover some this coming spring, so stay tuned for that and plenty more. Subscribe to the channel can help. And of course, if there is anything you'd like to say, I encourage you to say it in the live chat. Regardless of whether you're a fan of Brookline or Malden Catholic, so if you want, whether you want to say go Warriors or go Lancers in the live chat, I highly encourage either. Always happy to see fans bringing the good vibes and showing support for their team in the live chat. or if you want to give a shout out to your favorite player, maybe you're tuning in to watch a family member or a friend, especially if you're tuning in to support one of the Brookline seniors, then I encourage you to say something in the live chat. Or maybe you want to let us know where it is you're tuning in from. That can sometimes be fun to read in the live chat. With these online live streams that can be watched all over the world, sometimes people tune in from different states or even different countries, and that can be fun to read about. And then, of course, if you notice any technical difficulties with the stream, I encourage you to speak up and say something, either in the live chat or send me an email. Seniors coming out to be honored. First one is number 26, who is not on the varsity roster. I assume that's a JV player who is being honored. We saw this with the girls hockey team as well, with their senior night game a couple weeks back, which I think is pretty cool, getting to honor the JV players as well as the varsity players. We got some notes in the live chat already from some of our regulars. From Marlene Lyons, so sorry it's the last game. Has been fun being with you, Jesse. Go Warriors, and my favorite Dylan Katz. And from Barbara E. Picorni, watching from Connecticut again. Go, congrats, seniors. And on that note, we have our next senior coming up. It's number 11, Seth Walpowitz. Now coming out, number 8, Tommy May. And I was just handed a roster that lets me know that the other senior, number 26, who came out is Lucas Pratt. So congratulations so far, Lucas Pratt, Seth Walpowitz, and now Tommy May, number 8. And remember, fans, since this is the last game of the year, this game viewable by all, open to the public. So if you know anyone that doesn't already know to tune in, be sure to tell them to tune in. Next up, we have one of the senior captains, number 12, Henry Ames, accompanied by his brother and teammate, number 13, Grady Ames. Next year, we'll be back here again for Grady's senior night. But for now, it's the last game of Henry's career, as the two brothers and their family members pose for the photo. And then the final senior captain, number 4, Noah Gurdon. You know, we speak about, I talked about the brotherly connection between the Ames brothers, Henry and Grady. Of course, Noah's older brother, Jacob, also a prominent member of this Brookline High boys hockey team, had his senior night and his final season 2 years ago as a member of the class of 2022. And very poetically, it was Noah who assisted on Jacob's last career high school goal, not in his senior night game as they ended that season on the road in Natick, but Jacob's last goal of his career was assisted by Noah. And we'll see if Noah can finish his high school career in style as well. And so now we'll get some last photos with the entire group. So there we go, the senior group of 5, Lucas Pratt, Seth Walpowitz, Tommy May, Henry Ames, and Noah Gurdon. We've got a note in my email from Jim Wilson. Thank you for an exciting season. Nana and Pop Wilson are so thankful to be able to watch our grandson Ryan play from the comfort of our Scranton home. Maybe lacrosse too? Great news. And hey, you know, I'm keeping my fingers crossed. You know, you guys know me. I'm always happy to have more games to cover. You know, it's both good for business and good for my love of the game. That concludes our pregame senior night ceremony for the senior class of 2024, featuring Lucas Pratt, Tommy May, Seth Walpowitz, Henry Ames, and Noah Gurdon. And so Brookline beginning their pregame skate as the officials come out onto the floor, and I think we can expect the Malden Catholic Lancers to come out on the floor soon. And here come the Lancers. So both teams now out on the ice beginning their pregame skate-arounds. And I mentioned some of the good reasons to participate in the live chat, of which there are many. But among the many is, if you notice me mispronouncing the names of any of the players on either team, then I encourage you to speak up and say something either in the live chat or send me an email if you're not comfortable with the live chat. You can see my email in the bottom right corner of your screen. And as you can see in the bottom left corner of your screen on the scoreboard cam, we got about 6 minutes before we get this game underway. So let's run through the rosters real quick. We'll start with the visiting Lancers of Malden Catholic, who we can see over on our right. Going in order of jersey number for Malden Catholic, first off we have a junior goalie, number 1, Connor Fitzpatrick. We have a senior forward and alternate captain, number 2, Michael McLaughlin. A junior defenseman, number 3, Matthew Fukuda. A junior forward, number 5, Steven Streeter. A junior forward, number 7, Brendan Heffron. A freshman defenseman, number 8, Jack Tucker. A senior defenseman, number 9, Alexander Rich. A senior forward and alternate captain, number 10, John Jenkins. A junior forward, number 11, Quinn Matthews. A senior forward, number 12, Braden Hayes. A junior defenseman, number 14, Keely Coulter. A senior forward, number 15, Eric Utter. A sophomore forward, number 17, Michael Moschella. A senior forward, number 8, Derek DeJean. A junior defenseman, number 19, Ethan Gisaume. A senior forward, number 20, Patrick Hounsell. A sophomore forward, number 21, Michael Doe Jr. A senior defenseman, number 22, Jalen Chu. A senior forward and captain, number 25, Philip Rotondo. A junior forward, number 29, Dominic Ferragamo. A senior goalie, number 30, Evan Mahoney. A sophomore goalie, number 31, Ethan Adazio. And a freshman forward, number 55, Brody McMaster. Head coach of the Malden Catholic boys hockey team is Brendan Collier. So that is the roster for the visiting Malden Catholic Lancers. And now we move over to our left to go through the roster for the hosting Brookline High Warriors. Going in order of jersey number for the Warriors, first off we have a sophomore forward, number 2, Jack Herman. Next, a freshman forward, number 3, Ricky Ace. A senior defenseman and captain, number 4, Noah Gurdon. A freshman defenseman, number 5, Waylon Slavin. A sophomore forward wearing either number 6 or number 24, Greg Aptekman. A junior forward, number 7, Connor Erdman. A senior forward, number 8, Tommy May. A junior forward, number 9, Max Guo. A junior forward, number 10, Jace Gungadarin. A senior forward, number 11, Seth Walpowitz. A senior forward and captain, number 12, Henry Ames. A junior forward and captain, number 13, Grady Ames. A freshman forward and defenseman, number 14, Preston Bayless. A sophomore forward, number 15, Aton Kate. A junior forward, number 16, Alex Lynn. A freshman defenseman, number 17, Jameson Young. A junior defenseman, number 18, Thomas O'Brien. A junior defenseman, number 19, Ryan Wilson. A sophomore forward, number 21, Owen Lacey. A junior defenseman, number 23, Dylan Katz. A senior forward, number 26, Lucas Pratt. A junior goalie, number 30, Jack O'Connor. And a sophomore goalie wearing either number 31 or 1, Craig Haas. Head coach of the Brookline High boys hockey team is Anthony Sarno. Those are our two rosters. We've got about a minute left on the pregame clock. It's Warriors versus Lancers. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, and you are watching, for the last time this season, Brookline High Hockey.
88, racing back the other way, and stars! Gurton weaving around, Gurton approaching, Gurton shot, score!
Cat behind the boards and a shot, score! The man, the myth, the legend, the Hank Ames! Erdman coming around the back, shot, score! Connor Erdman wins it for Brookline! All right, pregame clock has expired. We'll soon get the starting lineups, national anthem, and our opening puck drop. For now, we got a couple notes in the live chat from, well, first from someone who somehow doesn't have a name on next to their account photo. I don't know how you did that, but the magic nameless man says, "Great work, Jesse, watching live from Dublin, Ireland. Go Jameson." Referring, I presume, to Jameson Young, number 17 for Brookline. And then from Sidhu Gangadaran, "Go Warriors, and congrats Lucas, Seth, Noah, Tommy, and Henry." Thank you so much for tuning in, you guys. Hope you enjoy the game. So we got our starters first for Malden Catholic. We're speeding through this. Number 12, Braden Hayes. Number 21, Michael Doe Jr. Number 25, Philip Rotondo. Number 3, Matthew Fukuda. Number 8 looks like Jack Tucker. And in net, number 31, Ethan Adazio. First starter for Brookline, number 8, the senior Tommy May. Next, number 26, senior Lucas Pratt. Next, senior captain, number 12, Henry Ames. Next, senior number 11, Seth Walpowitz. And senior captain number 4, Noah Gurdon. And in goal, number 31, Craig Haas. So it's going to be all senior skaters for Brookline starting out in honor of senior night. But for now, here is our national anthem. All right, that was our national anthem. And we got a fresh 15 minutes on the clock for the first period out here at Walter Brown Arena. It'll be number 31 against number 31 for the matchup between the Pipes. Craig Haas for Brookline, Ethan Adazio for Malden Catholic, both sophomores, both wearing the same jersey number. Just a happy little coincidence there. Brookline, like I said, going with a lineup of all senior skaters. As with a senior class of 5, I mean, it just lines up perfectly. So all 5 seniors, May, Pratt, Ames, Walpowitz, and Gurdon will line up to start. Walpowitz going to join Gurdon on the defensive line to start. You know, he'll probably shift back to his natural position at forward as the game goes on. But for now, here we go. Warriors versus Lancers, last game of the year. And the puck is dropped. Off the face-off, it goes back to Walpowitz, who passes over to Gurdon, and it's almost stolen away, but Gurdon knocks it back. It's received by Matthew Fukuda, passed across, sent forward by number 8, Jack Tucker, chased down by Gurdon. Gurdon controls it in the corner. Forces a pass through for May, but he couldn't corral it. Gurdon gets it up to Henry Ames. Ames has got a bit of a lane, launches it into the Malden Catholic end. It's parked by Adazio behind the net. Fukuda pushes it along. Lucas Pratt recovers, sends a pass through, but blocked by Fukuda. May keeps it on the attack. Ames passes back to Pratt. Pratt, the shot saved by Adazio. And you can see the crowd of Brookline fans and also possibly some of the JV players there in the stands watching Lucas Pratt get his first career varsity shot. Although it was saved by Ethan Adazio, still some early game excitement. Off the face-off, it's now corralled by the Lancers. Dumped in the Brookline end by number 11, Quinn Matthews. Chase down, pass goes to Matthews. Matthews looking for somewhere to go, sends it all the way back to number 15, long insert, blocked, taken down by Grady Ames. Ames racing up with it a little too far, poked away by number 15, Eric Utter. Now on the attack, number 20 tried to send a pass through but missed. Number 20, Patrick Hounsell, was trying to send that one through to number 18, Derek Dijon. Matthews battling for it along the boards with Gurdon, now Grady Ames and Dijon joining the battle there. Dijon ultimately comes away with it, passes it back to the blue line. Number 9, Alexander Rich sends it down, but taken away by Brookline. But then Rich gets it again, tries to send it up the line, stopped by Dylan Katz. Katz lifts it off the glass. Rich couldn't knock it down. It goes into the neutral zone, where it's taken back by Utter. Knocked back, and now Grady Ames, and he takes it across the blue line, sends it over to the opposite end. Now taken by, I believe, Brody McMaster, but off a line change, Jason Goddard launched it back in. Now a pass finds an open Lancer, charging in, shot missed it high and wide. That shot from Michael McLaughlin had an open look, but couldn't capitalize, and we've got a stoppage now as I think that was a penalty on Brookline. Or no, is it a penalty on Malden Catholic? What'd they call? What do they call, offsides? Brief bit of confusion there. But either way, it's a face-off in the Malden Catholic end. Off the face-off. Into the corner, Gengadarin comes away with it. Pass gets through to Guo, but just disrupted at the last second. Slides a pass back. Jamison Young, long shot. Deflects off a body into the corner. Gengadarin couldn't quite corral it, but neither could the Lancers. Guo pushes one towards the net, and it's going to be covered up by Adazio. Ethan Adazio is trying to slow down the movement of the puck, but it kept that puck right in front of the net as Max Guo was just too dangerously close, and he had to cover it up. Another face-off in the Malden Catholic end as Brookline brings out their third forward line. And we got a bit of a false start on the face-off, and that forces a switch on Malden Catholic side. Brookline wins the face-off. Long shot from Young goes wide. Chased down and a pass intercepted by Young as number 29, Dominic Ferragamo is trying to push that one through. Now Tucker, long pass, finds Ferragamo. He gets checked by Gurdon, but now it is taken. Number 7 charges in, shot saved by Haas. Number 7, Brendan Heffron, with a good chance there, but couldn't get it past the Brookline netminder. Now this one taken in the neutral zone by Young. Gains the blue, charging in. Shot is saved by Adazio. Ricochets right to Young in the corner. His pass blocked by the skates, but he recovers the puck. Staying with it. Another shot, glove saved by Adazio. No score yet in the first 3 minutes as we get ready for another Malden Catholic end face-off. Pinned up against the boards, scrumming for it. Grady Ames almost came out with it, and now it's pushed forward by Thomas O'Brien. Pinned to the boards again in the corner. 4 players in the scrum. I see Henry Ames, Greg Aptekman, Eric Utter, and Alexander Rich, and they are just going to blow that one dead. A 5th player, number 20, is that number 25? Philip Rotondo came in for that one, but they blew it dead. Face-off, controlled by Malden Catholic, but then pushed back by Thomas O'Brien. Henry Ames couldn't quite corral it, and instead it is taken pass. Long pass from Rich. Couldn't quite connect with Rotondo. And now after a battle along the boards, it's lifted out by Grady Ames. Chased down by number 21, Michael Doe Jr. Now Rich spins off one, sends it off the boards, gets up to number 12, Braden Hayes. Hayes passes forward to Rotondo. Rotondo racing in, pass blocked by Dylan Katz. Rotondo recovers the puck himself, trying to maneuver, sends it along the boards, blocked again by Katz. Katz takes it, passes up for Connor Erdman. Erdman skating through the neutral zone, gets tripped, but not tripped enough. Taken by Guo and mistimed as it goes across the blue line, offsides. We'll have a neutral zone face-off, 10:49 on the clock here in the first period. Face-off won cleanly by Brookline. Gurdon pass a little too rich for Young, but he chases it down, gets back to the neutral zone, and it's picked up by Guo. Pokecheck knocks it free. Erdman tried to force through, couldn't, but now it's taken by Young. Young gains the blue line, launches a shot. It's blocked by a defender. Off up against the boards. Gingadarin sent one through the crease, but nobody was there to take it. Long pass and a hard collision through the neutral zone. Pushed forward by the Lancers. 3-on-2 chance. Pass through. Shot saved by Haas. Big save by Haas, as that was a nice pass from number 20, Patrick Hounsell, to number 11, Quinn Matthews. Matthews almost able to finish on that one, but Haas reacted well. Face off, Hounsell chases it down, coming around the back, gets passed back. Matthews shot, saved just high by Haas. Hounsell recovers the rebound, coming around the back, looking pass across, finds a man, shot blocked by O'Brien. Coming around the back, trying to fit one in, cannot, well defended. Number 22, Jalen Chu had a big chance there, but could not get it past. Brookline trying to clear, but Matthews keeps it in the attack and gets it around back to Hounsell. Hounsell slides one back, trying to get to number 18, Derek DeJean, but instead taken by Henry Ames. Ames's pass finds O'Brien. O'Brien skating it through the neutral zone himself, dumps it into the Malden Catholic end as Brookline commits to a line change. Greg Aptekman applying the forecheck, steals the puck, lifts it through to the slot, but it's taken by DeJean. DeJean tries to clear, but it's intercepted by Gingadarin. Gingadarin's shot slightly blocked by Chu. Now Erdman takes it in the corner, pinned to the boards, and it's taken now by Hounsell. Hounsell off the boards up to Matthews. Matthews lifts it out all the way down to the Brookline end, where it's going to be taken by Gurdon as Malden Catholic commits to a line change. Gurdon picking up speed through the neutral zone. He gains the blue. Gurdon skating around a defender, try to pass, and it deflects and goes off the back of the net. Taken now by Tucker. Quick passing, deflects, and a poke check knocks it loose. Oh, but we've got a hit from Brookline, and that is going to be our first penalty. That's going to go against Noah Gurdon as he hit slightly low on John Jenkins. Ironically, the poke check from his teammate that knocked the puck loose kind of threw off Gurdon's timing on that check and resulted in a lower check that kind of hit him at the knees. And you're going to get called for a penalty on that every time. So Noah Gurdon will serve a 2-minute minor as Malden Catholic gets the first power play of the night. Face-off won by the Lancers. Tucker slides it over to McLaughlin. Back to Tucker, back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin looking, almost lost control of the puck and pushes it down to the corner. Jenkins couldn't quite corral it. Now Ames tried to lift it out, but it goes right to Rotondo, and it does not clear the blue. Now it clears out to the neutral zone off that hit from Katz, taken by McLaughlin. McLaughlin trying to skate through, lost control of the puck, but it's taken by Rotondo across the blue line. Try to pass, blocked, recovered, shot, saved by Haas. Recovered by McLaughlin behind the net. McLaughlin surveying. Leaves it for Rotondo. Rotondo spins off his defender, approaching, looking. Pass around the back to Jenkins. Jenkins pass back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin looking, slides it across. Rotondo tries to send a pass through, deflected. McMaster, oh, he couldn't get his stick on it. Had a golden chance for a backhander there, but couldn't quite corral it. Pass now goes back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin up to McMaster. McMaster lost control, and it's cleared out by Young. Brookline commits to almost a full change. 3 out of 4 players change out. Malden Catholic also with a bit of a change. Skating now, fresh off the bench. Number 21, Michael Doe Jr. charges in, saved by Haas. Rebound, missed it wide. That's going to slide all the way out to the neutral zone. It's going to be chased down by Quinn Matthews. Matthews sends it back to Rich. Rich, long pass up, and now knocked forward by Matthews. Chased down by Katz. Katz tries to wrap it around, but it's taken by Matthews. Matthews pass back to Utter. Utter blocked by Guo, and Guo lifts it out. And now it's a race for the puck between Rich and Erdman. Rich gets there first. Rich coming around the back, trying to reset things for the Lancers. As we go back to even strength, Brookline successfully kills the penalty. Utter. Pass blocked by Gurdon, but collided with a teammate and couldn't corral the puck. Now Utter trying to take advantage, gains the blue, passes back, pass across, shot, saved by Haas, and the rebound could not be corralled by Utter. The initial shot from Doe was stopped by Haas just barely. And while the rebound dangled tantalizingly in front of the net, it could not be corralled by Utter. Now pushed off the boards. It's taken by Henry Ames. Pass up, misses Gungadarin, and it's going to be taken by Utter off the boards. And now we're going to get a penalty against Malden Catholic. Six minutes and 10 seconds left on the clock here in the first period. No score as of yet as Brookline gets their first chance on the power play as number 29, Dominic Ferragamo, will serve the 2-minute minor. Henry Ames controlling the puck patiently. Passes back to the point to Noah Gurdon. Gurdon slides it across to Grady Ames. Grady Ames around to the point, launches, saved by Adazio, rebound. Gurdon couldn't push it past him. The attempted clear is stopped by Grady Ames, but it's blocked a couple of times, but recovered by Gurdon. Now Gurdon had his pocket picked, but it's blocked again. Now Guo passes back to Erdman. Erdman approaching, shot blocked wide of the net, and it goes around the back. And this time the clear is good from number 3, Matthew Fukuda. Ames leaves it for Gurdon. Gurdon, pass to Henry Ames, back to Gurdon. Gurdon gains the blue line, going across the board, stolen. The attempted clear blocked. Henry Ames keeps it on the attack. It's chased down by Fukuda, pinned to the boards by Guo. Fukuda escapes, coming around the back, disrupted by Erdman, and it's recovered by Grady Ames. Up against the boards, almost recovered by Erdman, knocked back. Gurdon takes it. Gurdon Pass down to Grady Ames. Back to the point, Gurdon. Gurdon pass down to Jamison Young. Young back to the point, but out to the neutral zone. Brookline has to reset as Gurdon couldn't fend off the forecheck from Rotondo. Rotondo couldn't quite get an attack going as Gurdon stopped him. Erdman takes it, pass over to Grady Ames, and we've got a penalty, and I think that's going to be called on Gurdon. Might have gotten a little too physical with Rotondo up against the boards there. And that's going to cost Brookline the rest of their power play. With 21 seconds left on Ferragamo's penalty, Gurdon now going to the box, and he'll serve a 2-minute minor. So it'll be 4-on-4 for the next 21 seconds. And then for the remaining minute 39, it'll be a power play for the Lancers. Quick pass across. Chu tries to pass one through, but it's blocked and now taken by Henry Ames. Trying to take advantage of the last of this 4-on-4 situation. Ames trying to skate through. Almost recovered by Eitan Kate. Kate lost his footing, couldn't corral it. Now Utter pass up to McLaughlin. McLaughlin lifts it along. It's taken out by Doe. Doe offsides. They had a potential rush going with Doe and Utter, but could not time it right. And now we go straight up to a power play for Malden Catholic as Ferragamo has served the last of his penalty. Noah Gurdon will still be in the box for another minute 36. Neutral zone face-off controlled by the Lancers. Tucker pass across the blue line to McMaster. McMaster looking pass. So much traffic, but it's still knocked in. Malden Catholic the first on the board. That power play goal scored quickly by number 20, Patrick Hounsell. Assisted by number 55, Brody McMaster. And number 8, Jack Tucker. So again, Hounsell from McMaster and Tucker for the power play goal that serves as the first score of this game. So Gurdon comes out of the penalty box. And Malden Catholic now with a 1-0 lead. Rich, long pass, finds Rotondo. Rotondo taking it along the back. Double teamed, and it's stolen by Young. The attempted clear blocked by Rich. Up to Doe, back to Rich. Rich breaking through with a pass, disrupted at the last second, was aimed at Rotondo, blocked by Gurdon. Now taken around the back by Hayes. Hayes pass back to Utter, tries to send it back forward. Now they're scrumming against the boards for it, and more hard checking along the boards. Malden Catholic comes out with it. The shot is whipped and stopped by Haas off the shot from Doe. Some more pushing and shoving at the end of that play, and Noah Gurdon has got to be careful. He's already gone to the box twice just in this first period. I know there's a lot of emotions with it being senior night and the last game of his career, but got to stay calm and collected. Scrumming against the boards. Ultimately recovered by Katz. Katz around the boards, chased down, taken by Erdman. Erdman pass across for Gungadarin. Struggled to corral it. Now against the boards, it's recovered again by Guo, who dumps it into the Malden Catholic end, parked by Adazio and taken by McLaughlin. McLaughlin skating through, manages to get a pass away to Fukuda. Fukuda's pass misses McMaster. And that's going to be icing. Boy, first icing call of the night, and it took until there was 2 minutes and 40 seconds left in the first period. Malden Catholic been connecting on a lot of their long passes, which is why we haven't really seen an icing violation until now. Face-off, quick shot wide of the net. Attempted clear up against the boards. Tucker now controls it. Tucker, long pass disrupted. Did go back to the neutral zone and now recovered. Pass up from Dijon to Matthews. Shot goes wide. Recovered by Tucker. Pushed down to the corner. Young wraps it around. Matthews takes it. Sends it down to the corner. Misses Dijon. Corralled by Hounsell. Hounsell gets passed through to Matthews. Matthews a chance. Missed it. Wide. Hounsell recovers again, but the poke check knocks it free. It's taken now by Gurdon. Gurdon, pass, gets to Henry Ames. Ames stops, pinned to the boards. Puck is knocked loose. Hounsell pushes it out to the neutral zone. It's whipped back into the Malden Catholic end by Gungodarin. Taken now by Tucker. Tucker whiffed on the pass, but Gungodarin wasn't ready to take advantage. He was just kind of surprised. Now up against the back. Ultimately taken by Tucker. Couple passes. Hounsell. Ferragamo. Shot saved by Haas. Shuffled around and now pinned in the corner. Number 7, Heffron. Keeping it pinned. Puck's knocked loose. Heffron takes it. Passes back to Chu. Chu whips a shot. Saved by Haas. Rebound is just missed wide. Heffron recovered it, but it's knocked away by Katz. Heffron manages to chase it down again. Now kicked through. A pass blocked and covered up by Haas. And we see more physicality as things got very close to the goalie there. A lot of high emotions, and now Jace Gungodarin and Dominic Ferragamo both go into the box. So this will stay a 5-on-5 as that penalty was outside of the play. That penalty came while the play was dead. So it stays 5-on-5 with 54.4 seconds left here in the first period. Off the face-off, Kate tries to push it forward, takes a hard shot into the boards, and Haas saves the long shot from number 19, Ethan Jasaume. Face off back to Jasaume. Pass, quick passing, and Rotondo couldn't corral it. Now Rotondo knocked loose by Walpowitz. Pass gets up to Walpowitz. Now forward to Kate. Aton Kate racing up with it. Matched by Jasaume. Sends a shot, limited angle, and it's easily covered up by Adazio. 31.1 seconds left in the period as Brookline switches to their first forward line after a successful transition push by the third line. Face off, fought for. Ames recovers. Ames the shot, blocked. Recovered Erdman, couldn't get a shot off, and it's recovered by Rich. Rich, long pass, touched along, and now racing through the neutral zone. Number 10 approaching, shot saved by Haas. Jenkins couldn't get it past him. See Malden Catholic able to move so quickly and connect on such quick touch passes. 13.9 seconds left in the period. Face off won by Malden Catholic. Long insert by Rich is knocked down. Jenkins recovers around the back. Jenkins tried to send a pass through too much traffic, knocked back. Rich insert again wide of the net. Oh, it might have gone off the post as McLaughlin was trying to deflect it, but that is where things are going to end at the end of the first period. No love lost between these two teams as there was almost some more extracurriculars there at the end of the period. At the end of one, our score, the Malden Catholic Lancers 1, the Brookline Warriors 0. The lone goal of the first period, a power play goal scored by Patrick Hounsell assisted by Brody McMaster and Jack Tucker. But for now, it is the first intermission. I'm going to take a minute and mute the mic. I'm going to take a break, but I'll be back with the second period. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan, coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the second period of today's high school varsity boys hockey contest between the visiting Malden Catholic Lancers and the hosting Brookline High Warriors. The Lancers hold a 1-0 advantage after one off a power play score from Patrick Hounsell, assisted by Brody McMaster and Jack Tucker. Brookline at times seemed to struggle keeping up with the speed and passing of Malden Catholic and their ability to quickly flip the side of the ice. And Brookline struggled to generate quality scoring chances while also relying heavily on sophomore goalie Craig Haas to make a number of nice saves and keep the margin limited to what it is. Now we get ready for the opening puck drop of the second period. Here we go. Face-off won by Malden Catholic. Fukuda, long pass parked by Rotondo, and now a battle along the boards for the puck. Very physical, and it's ultimately recovered by Grady Ames. Pass just barely gets away from Henry Ames. And now we've got a penalty that's going to be called on Malden Catholic. So very quickly, we're going to go to the power play. Let's see who it is. Looks like it's going to be number 8, Jack Tucker, going to the box. And so Brookline will get another chance on the power play. The last time they got a power play chance, unable to score, and their power play was cut short by about 21 seconds. As they committed a penalty that turned it into a 4-on-4. Face off, controlled by the Lancers. The attempted clear stopped, taken by Henry Ames, who whips it around the boards. Going to be taken on the other side by Grady Ames. Pass down to the corner to Connor Erdman. Erdman skating around the back, passes to Henry Ames. Shot saved by Ethan Adazio, and he pokes away the potential rebound. Recovered by Max Guo, back to Henry Ames. Shot off the crossbar after it went off of Adazio's glove. Grady Ames, pass around back. Max Guo takes it off the back of the net. Pass back to Henry Ames. Ames whiffed on something there, either a pass or a shot, I'm not sure, but it's cleared away by number 12, Braden Hayes. Noah Gurdon lost it in the officials' skates. Now a long pass up to Henry Ames, try and take advantage of a Malden Catholic line change. Ames just dumps it into the Malden Catholic end, turned aside by Adazio. Attempted clear, several deflections, recovered by Eric Utter. The clear stopped by Henry Ames. Henry Ames looking, pass around the back for Max Guo. He comes around the back, his pass blocked. Now recovered in the corner by Grady Ames, whips it off the glass. It's parked by Noah Gurdon, gets around a defender, now approaching, surveying, pass it back to the point. Grady Ames, pass down to Henry Ames, one-timer missed wide. Rebound chased down by Grady Ames, but blocked at the blue line. John Jenkins off to the races on the shorthand shot, deflected at the last second by Grady Ames. Now it's sent around the back, but it's taken back by the Lancers. Skating around with it, pass goes down to Jenkins. Jenkins whiffed on the extra pass there. Now sends it around for Chu. Chu, shot saved by Haas. Grady Ames taking it the other way. Pass up to Henry Ames, gains the blue. Long shot saved by Adazio, might have gone wide, and it's going to slide all the way around to the Brookline end, where it's recovered by Dylan Katz. Katz's pass gets up to Henry Ames. He tries to lift it, but it's blocked by Michael McLaughlin. couple of pins to the boards, and it winds up with Hounsell. Patrick Hounsell tangled up with Katz, and now it's taken by Seth Walpowitz. Walpowitz slides it around for Jamison Young. He gets pinned to the boards, and it's taken by Eitan Kate. Kate gains the blue. Down to the corner, battling. Still battling, comes around with it. Almost got through, but one last defender knocked the puck loose. Now Jenkins pushing his way up the ice, or is that, no, that's actually number 17, excuse me. Knocked out to the neutral zone by Brookline, recovered now by Jalen Chu. Chu sends it up to Hounsell. He gets checked, so it's taken by McLaughlin. McLaughlin slides it across the blue line, not able to connect with number 17, Michael Moschella. Now Moschella takes it around the back. Try to pass blocked, and a shot kind of whiffed by Hounsell. And now Young trying to clear as we are back at even strength. Another pin to the boards. Grady Ames couldn't take it out. Hounsell trying to force his way through, but knocked loose by Young. Taken now by Henry Ames. 3-on-2 rush. Ames poked away and couldn't be recovered by anyone. Now it's recovered by Chu, and now poked loose, but Chu still recovers. Taken by Hounsell, stolen away by Greg Aptekman. Pass gets up to Henry Ames, who gains the blue line. Leaves it for Grady Ames. Long shot saved by Adazio. We got a note in the live chat from Gamel Abdul Nasur. I'm tuning in from Khan Yunis, Gaza. Go Warriors. Have a great game. Gregory Aptekman, number 6, and Eitan Kate, number 15. Go Warriors. Thank you so much for tuning in, Gamel. I hope I didn't butcher the pronunciation of your name. If I did, I apologize. But regardless, so happy to see you tuning in. Face-off won by the Warriors. Shot missed off the crossbar, I think, from Jace Gungarin. Noah Gurdon passes it across. Long shot deflected several ways. A chance, and they couldn't get it past Adazio. Puck is still loose, and now they blow it dead. Couple of golden chances for the Warriors, and off of that last long shot from Ryan Wilson, it seemed like every player possible was scrumming for that puck around the crease, but they couldn't knock it in. And Malden Catholics forced to swap out their face-off man, and it's won by Brookline. Quick shot from Gungarin, turned aside by Adazio, recovered by Erdman around the back, but his pass kind of whiffed. Taken now by Rich. Long pass misses out to the neutral zone. It's taken by Gurdon. Across to Wilson. Wilson up the line, misses Gungarin. It's taken back by Rich. Pass back to Utter, up, gets away from Dijon. A chase for the puck. Gurdon gets there first, but is clear. Stopped by Dijon. Shot blocked by Guo. Dijon recovers, tries to pass around the back, but it's taken by Gurdon. Gurdon whips it around. Hard check into the boards, and the clear again fails as Matthews blocks it, sends it around. Gurdon takes it, tries to push it forward. It ricochets back. Now Dijon skating around the back with it. Sends it around. A little bit of confusion there, and the puck is lost, taken by Guo. Out to the near side. Utter and Wilson battling for it. They're still battling for it. Erdman moving the puck along. Gurdon pushed it up, blocked. Now lifted back into the corner. Now McMaster with it. McMaster spins off one man, trying to weave around another, but he gets checked, loses the puck, but it's recovered by Rich. Pass back up to McMaster. His pass intercepted, but Gurdon whiffed on his hit. Now it's taken back by Jenkins. Jenkins slides one back, but nobody there to take it. It's just going to be taken by Gungarin. Lifted high, a little out of reach for Erdman, and it's taken back by Utter. Utter gains the blue line. Chasing it down along the back, pinned to the boards by Gurdon. Battling for the puck, McMaster and Gungarin, and ultimately it's taken by Gurdon. Gurdon up to Gungarin. Gungarin's pass blocked, and it's taken by Tucker. Tucker lost a little bit of control with it. Grady Ames on the forecheck, but Tucker keeps with the puck as Brookline commits to a full change. Pass off the boards, out of reach for McMaster. And it's just wide of the net, so that will be an icing call against Malden Catholic. 8:49 on the clock here in the second period. Still a 1-0 lead for the visiting Lancers. Face off, controlled by the Lancers. It's whipped around the boards. Aptekman trying to disrupt it, and Katz takes it. His shot blocked by the skate of Fukuda. Henry Ames tried to pass. It was blocked, but he gets a pass now to Grady Ames. Shot blocked by the skate of a defender. Rotondo trying to lift it out. Grady Ames keeps it in the Malden Catholic end. It's taken by Fukuda. Fukuda from around the back, pass, finds his man. Now an extra pass up to Rotondo. Rotondo gains the blue. He's got a man on his right. Pass. Oh, just barely stopped as Haas stretched out for it. Dylan Katz managed to disrupt it just enough, and then Craig Haas laid out and just barely got his pads on it to redirect that puck to the near side post. That was such a near goal for Braden Hayes. Now Brookline skating the other way. A long shot from Kate is saved by Adazio. What an astounding stop by the Brookline defense. And now after that play, Craig Haas subbing out. Doesn't appear to be hurt, so this might just be a platoon system as number 30, Jack O'Connor, now takes his spot in net for Brookline. Off the face-off. It's sent off the boards and up to Hounsell. Hounsell gains the blue. Loses his footing along the boards. Pushed forward and blocked by Haas. Off the shot from Jasaume. Brookline skating the other way. This is Walpowitz. Gains the blue. Lost it. May kind of whiffed on the shot there. And now Matthews trying to take it the other way. Matthews lifts it into the Brookline end. Behind the net, Matthews chases it down. Pass back to Jasaume. Jasaume's pass blocked, but recovered by Matthews. Matthews slides it out to an open Chu. Chu tries to send a pass through, but nobody was there to take it as it goes out to the boards. Whipped across by Jasaume, but now cleared out by May. Hounsell manages to get a pass away from the forecheck from Kate, and he gets the pass to Jasaume as Brookline commits to a line change. Pass intercepted fresh off the bench. It's Max Guo approaching. His pass blocked. Tried to force one through, but could not. Too much traffic. Now Matthews taking it the other way. And he lifts one as he gets hit by Guo. Now up against the boards. Rotondo swoops in and takes it. Rotondo spinning, McMaster pinned to the boards by Guo. And now it's up against the back of the net. And they're going to blow the play dead. .621, no shortage of action here at Walter Brown Arena here in the second period, but no scoring in this period as of yet. Off the face-off, it's pushed wide of the net. McMaster slides it down for Jenkins. Jenkins from the corner. Pass. One-timer. Oh, it goes over the top, and the net gets knocked off its post. You could see O'Connor reaching up to try and grasp it as it just kind of floated over his head and ultimately over the crossbar. Brookline end face-off now. Controlled by Jamison Young. Young lost it, taken away. Pass, McLaughlin couldn't hit on the one-timer, disrupted by the defense. The attempted clear blocked by Utter. His pass blocked high. Bounces off the shelf of the boards there. Whipped around by Young, now off the boards. The scrum knocked loose, taken by McMaster. McMaster passes it to himself off the boards. He gets knocked from behind, and that's going to be a penalty on Grady Ames. I think they're going to get Ames either for a slash or a hook or something as he disturbed McMaster from behind, kind of hit him under his arm with his stick. So an unfortunate turn of events for Brookline as Ames will serve the 2-minute minor with 5 minutes and 42 seconds left here in the period. Malden Catholic with one power play goal already today, representing their one goal on the board. Face-off is won by Doe. It goes back to Utter, slid across to Chu. Chu whips a shot, saved by O'Connor. Knocked down, recovered by Matthews. Pass back to Chu, across to Utter. Utter sends it up quick, passing around. Matthews back to Utter, across to Chu. Down to Ferragamo. Pass to Matthews, misses, recovered by Utter. Shot saved by the blocker. Saved again by the pads. This shot goes wide. O'Connor with a couple of big saves there. Utter managed to slide it along to Ferragamo. Ferragamo back to Chu at the point. Chu down to the corner to Ferragamo. Lost it for a second, but keeps with it. Pass back to Chu. Chu whips one, saved by O'Connor. Whiffed on the clear, and it's recovered by Doe. Doe's shot, glove saved by O'Connor. Brookline almost had a chance to clear it there, but Katz's stick just barely missed the puck, and so it stayed on the attack. Off the face-off, goes back to Tucker. Tucker slides it forward, misses Rotondo, but it's taken by McMaster. McMaster gives to Rotondo. Back out to Tucker. Back to Rotondo. Rotondo turns around, slides back to Tucker, across to McLaughlin. McLaughlin to Rotondo, approaching, pass. McMaster tried to send it back to McLaughlin. He sends a shot, barely stopped by O'Connor, as he didn't expect a shot coming from that direction, but he covers it up. 48 seconds still left on the penalty, and it's been plenty of excitement already. Another note in the live chat from Gamel Abdul Nasur. Gregory, all your Habibis at home are praying for your success. Inshallah, Brookline, may you win. Thank you again so much for the support, Gamel. Face-off, won by the Lancers. Pass blocked along the blue line by Erdman. Chasing after it is Utter. Erdman keeping up the forecheck. Erdman leaves it shot, saved by Adazio. Almost a shorthanded goal for Max Guo. Erdman again blocking the clear, but it does get out to the neutral zone as Erdman whips it back into the Malden Catholic end. Adazio parks it for Chu, who passes it out to Utter. Utter, pass up to Ferragamo. Now leaving it for Doe. Doe approaching, shot wide. Recovered by Ferragamo. Ferragamo disrupted along the boards by Guo, but he manages to get a pass away. Matthews takes it behind. Matthews back to the corner to Ferragamo. The penalty concludes. Pass gets through to Matthews. Matthews kind of casually slid that one across and missed Doe. Pass goes back to Utter. Utter's shot deflected high off a stick. Now recovered around the back by Ferragamo. We are back at even strength as Doe takes a hard shot into the boards by Gurdon. Grady Ames fresh out of the penalty box, and we've got another penalty call, and is this going to be Gurdon going back to the box again? Or is it Doe? It's both. It's both Michael Doe Jr. and Noah Gurdon. Gurdon has been mixing it up with the Malden Catholic players all night long, and it's got him back in the penalty box again. Once again, no advantage either side, no 4-on-4, just going to stay 5-on-5. Face-off controlled by the Lancers. Pass goes back to Rich. Rich coming around, slides it across, taken by Young. Pass up to Henry Ames. Ames racing up with it. Dumps it into the Malden Catholic end. He's racing after it. But the Lancers recover. Pass lifted high out to the neutral zone. Stopped by Katzen. Whipped back into the Malden Catholic end. Parked by Adazio. Taken by Fukuda. Fukuda, his pass blocked in the neutral zone. Recovered by Jenkins. But ricochets now taken by Fukuda. Fukuda gains the blue. Fukuda with an advantage. Shot missed wide. Recovered by Kate. Attempted clear, stopped by Rich. Rich, shot, knocked down, battling, kicked away by Young. Grady Ames now taking it the other way. Ames races around his defender. Coming around the back. Comes back around, pass, slides back, taken by Young, whips a shot, goes wide. Chasing after it along the corner, it is knocked out to the neutral zone where it's chased down by Henry Ames. Ames pinned to the boards as his team, I think, was making a line change. Now a scrum along the boards, and Katz somehow pushes it away. Hounsell battling with Gungodarin and a couple more players in the scrum. It's pushed out to the neutral zone. Ames had it for a second, and Dijon had it for a second, but lost his footing. It's still being knocked back and forth. Now Dijon gains the blue. A couple of whiffs on the attempted clear, and finally Gungodarin gets in there and pushes it to the corner. Katz sends it off the boards to himself, and we got a penalty now called on Brookline. And they called it off puck, and that's just silly. It looks like Jace Gungodarin going to be called for the penalty. Looks like they're calling him for a slash. And I don't know if he was frustrated because his skate got tangled up with the stick of Dijon. I don't know what happened. It was away from the puck, but just a silly, silly penalty. Another 2-minute power play for Malden Catholic. Face off. The clear taken by McLaughlin. Shot blocked. Into the corner. Battling for it. Around the back with it is Hounsell. Hounsell. Into the corner. Pass back Rotondo. Back to the point. Tucker. Shot wide of the net. Hounsell recovers. Hounsell. Pass down to McMaster. McMaster finds an opening. Shot blocked by Katz. McLaughlin manages to get a pass up to McMaster. McMaster sends one down below to Hounsell. Hounsell looking past McMaster's shot saved by O'Connor. McMaster recovers, comes around the back, passes back Rotondo. Shot blocked by Guo. Recovered by McMaster, back to Rotondo. Shot saved by O'Connor. Rebound recovered by McLaughlin. Slides it over to Tucker. Tucker to Rotondo. Rotondo approaching. Shot saved by O'Connor. Recovered by Rotondo in the corner. Slides it back to Tucker. Across to McLaughlin. McLaughlin, long shot, knocked down, and it did not slide across, and it looked like the official had his hand up for a potential high stick anyhow. Tucker pinned to the boards by Katz. Guo whiffs on the clear. Katz pokes it free there, but it's taken by Jenkins. Jenkins passes it back to Tucker. Tucker looking back down to Jenkins. Jenkins, pass. McMaster couldn't complete the one-timer, disturbed by the defense. Recovered by McLaughlin. McLaughlin ran out of time. Well, they'll have 20 more seconds of a power play to start the third period, but for now, that is the end of 2. No score despite an exciting second period. And at the second intermission, the score remains Malden Catholic 1, Brookline 0. Patrick Hounsell's power play goal from the first period, assisted by Brody McMaster and Jack Tucker, still represents the only goal from either side, despite a combined 39 shots between the two teams, according to the scoreboard cam that you can see in the bottom left corner of your screen. We got one last note in the live chat from Marlene Lyons. Great defense, Dylan. Referring, of course, to Dylan Katz, who has been a big part of Brookline's defense. Now at this second intermission, I'd like to take a moment to direct your attention to some helpful links in the description section of this video. First off, we got a link to the official Venmo account for the Friends of BHS Hockey Booster Club. So if you would like to support this Brookline High boys hockey program financially, you can send some money to their Venmo account by following the link in the description section down below. Beneath that link, you can find some links relating to our local charity spotlight for today, Brookline Cares. Brookline Cares is a volunteer organization run by Brookline High School students, which seeks to raise awareness and funds to help people experiencing homelessness. Brookline Cares works closely with an organization called the Empowerment Plan. The Empowerment Plan hires and trains those struggling with homelessness to manufacture their special type of coat, known as the Empower Coat, which can double as a sleeping bag. The coats help to keep those experiencing homelessness warm during these colder winter months, while the jobs manufacturing those coats can help break the cycle of homelessness through gainful employment. Over the past 3 years, Brookline Cares has purchased and distributed over 200 Empower coats and 1,000 pairs of Bombas socks to local community organizations and emergency departments that care for the homeless, and you can help them bring more warmth to those in need. Down in the description section, you can find a link on the website classy.org, where you can donate money to the Brookline Cares team, supporting their efforts to purchase more Empower coats. Or if you're a student interested in joining Brookline Cares, you can find another link in the description section, this time to the organization's website on wixsite.com, where you can find more information about the group and how you can contact them. Once again, follow the link to the classy.org website to find out how you can send money, and check out the link on wixsite.com for more information about the group in general. Check those out in the description section down below, and help spread the warmth this winter with Brookline Cares. But that's going to do it here at the second intermission. I'm just going to take a break and mute the mic, but I will be back with the third and final period of the 2023 to 2024 season. I'll be right back. Stay tuned. Hello again, everybody. Back on the mic. I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan coming to you live from Walter Brown Arena on the campus of Boston University in Boston, Massachusetts. Here to bring you the third and final period of regulation of this high school varsity boys hockey matchup between the Brookline High Warriors and the Malden Catholic Lancers. The visiting Lancers still holding a 1-0 advantage off a first period power play goal from Patrick Hounsell, assisted by Brody McMaster and Jack Tucker. And they will start this third period with 20 seconds of a power play as Brookline's Jace Gungodarin finishes serving a 2-minute minor that he was called for towards the end of the second period. We got one last note in the live chat from Imity, a very simple go Brookline. And that is the sentiment as we begin the third and very probably final period of the 2023-24 season. John Jenkins pass over to McLaughlin. Michael McLaughlin's shot sails high. Recovered. The Lancers approaching, try to fit a pass through, and they can't. And it's knocked out by Grady Ames. We're back to even strength, and as we are back to even strength, that means they no longer get free clears. That will be an icing call. So nothing comes of that last 20 seconds of power play for the Lancers. We go back to even strength. Off the face-off, Brody McMaster approaches, saved by Jack O'Connor. You know, Brody McMaster, looking from a distance, he looks like one of the smallest players out there on the ice, but he's got such quick moves that, you know, he'll kill you if you underestimate him just because of his size. Off the boards, Henry Ames clears it out to the neutral zone. Taken by Tucker, sent off the boards, ricochets, and Noah Gurdon clears it out. But that clear is going to go a little too far, and that's going to be another icing against Brookline. Funnily enough, Brookline had no icing calls go against them through the first two periods of this game, but now two in quick succession here to start the third. Face-off won by the Lancers, controlled by Utter. Pass blocked by Dylan Katz, pushed out to the neutral zone. Eric Utter pushes it back. Max Guo knocks it loose all the way back to the Malden Catholic end, taken by Brody McMaster. McMaster weaving around defenders. Skating in transition, he gains the blue. Racing down to the corner, pass back to McLaughlin. McLaughlin pushes it back to Alexander Rich, down to McMaster. Pass intercepted briefly by Katz, almost taken back by McLaughlin. Into the corner it goes, and it's poked around the back where it's moved along by Katz over to Gungodarin. Tries to clear Rich, recovers, sends one wide of the net. Pushed back around by Utter. Taken now by Philip Rotondo. We've got an off-puck penalty called on Malden Catholic. This is going to go against number 15, Eric Utter. And this spells a power play opportunity for the Warriors. The Warriors still trying to get their first mark on the scoreboard. They've launched 15 shots at the net, and all 15 have been stopped by the Lancers netminder Ethan Adazio. Face-off controlled. Connor Erdman's shot goes wide. Chased down by Henry Ames, but blocked at the corner by Tucker. They're still scrumming for it. And Tucker manages to get it to Fukuda. Matthew Fukuda lifts a long clear all the way down to O'Connor. O'Connor passes off the boards, knocked loose, but recovered by Gurdon. Excuse me. Gurdon dumps it into the Malden Catholic end. It whips around. It's parked by Grady Ames. Pass to Erdman. Back to Grady Ames. Ames winds, fires. Stopped by Adazio. Puck is still loose. Erdman recovers. Sends a pass. Goes back to the point to Gurdon. Gurdon approaching. Coming inside. Shot saved by Adazio. Recovers zone rebound. Coming around the back. And it's going to be covered up by Adazio as more pushing and shoving after the play. There has been no love lost between the Warriors and Lancers here in this regular season finale. And that lack of love lost continues to show itself in that last battle. Face off along the boards, controlled by Chu, and Chu pushes through a block, gets it up to Hayes. Hayes' pass goes off a skate, and they can't control it without committing an offside, so it's taken now by Gurdon. Gurdon skating with it, gains the blue. Gurdon charging around, shot saved by Adazio, but he left it for Chu. Now Erdman, it's knocked loose. Guo recovers it. Guo trying to fight through, gets a pass down. So much traffic, and Erdman couldn't corral it. It's taken by Hayes and cleared out, and now it's a race to the puck. Getting there first is Moschella. Moschella's shot goes through! Michael Moschella snuck one in through the corner, and it's a shorthanded goal for the Lancers. Michael Moschella off the assist from Braden Hayes. A power play goal and now a shorthanded goal for Malden Catholic. And it looks like they're saving the puck, which to me says that that might be the first career varsity goal for sophomore Michael Moschella. Face off. Controlled now by Gengadarin, gains the blue. They're still on the power play. His pass blocked by Rich. Rich whips it around the boards. It's recovered by Young. His shot stopped by Rich and cleared out. Parked by O'Connor, taken by Katz. Katz whips it around behind to Young. Young's pass deflected high in the air. In the neutral zone, it's taken by McLaughlin as we go back to even strength. Brookline unable to score on the power play, and they give up a shorthanded goal, as that's going to be icing against Malden Catholic. Brookline not out of this game yet, but to go from a power play chance to tie the game to suddenly being down 2 scores after a shorthanded goal. I mean, that can be a backbreaker momentum-wise. Brookline has got to find a way to bounce back and get in this. Off the face-off, sent off the boards, and now taken McLaughlin. A 2-on-1 rush. Charges in, shot saved by O'Connor. Gurdon just laid out to cover the potential pass to the weak side to McMaster and left O'Connor to deal with McLaughlin one-on-one, and he did. And swapping out, and now the face-off controlled by Brookline. This is Katz. Slides it around for Gurdon, who whips it around the boards, misses May, and it's launched back in, saved by O'Connor and covered up. "10 minutes and 47 seconds on the clock here in the third and final period. The face-off goes to the boards. Off the scrum, Grady Ames backhands it out to the neutral zone where it's taken by Fukuda. Slid across to Tucker. Back to Fukuda. Fukuda skating through the neutral zone, pushes it into the Brookline end where it's parked by O'Connor. and covered up. We got a note from a Brookline High hockey alum in the live chat from James Redding. A very simple go Warriors. Happy to see you tuning in, James. Hope post-high school life has been treating you well. Cats lost it, knocked loose by Doe. Doe skating around the back. Taken again by Doe. Pass back to Fukuda. Pass down now. That pass misses Tucker, goes out to the neutral zone. Slid across to Fukuda. Long pass and a hard collision from Malden Catholic teammates as the puck is chased down by Gurdon. Gurdon weaving around. Tried to force his way through, but it's knocked back to Katz. Now Gurdon back forward into the Malden Catholic end. Rotondo chase it down. Pass goes up to Hayes. Hayes rushing it the other way. Dumps it into the Brookline end, and it's going to be scooped up by O'Connor. And do we have another penalty? Is that going to be against Gurdon again? Is he going to the box for a third time? And indeed, Gurdon will be going back to the penalty box to serve a 2-minute minor. Off the face-off, Doe passes it back. Utter slides it across to Tucker as Brookline finds themselves back on the PK. Utter down to the corner to Doe. Doe sends it back to Utter. Across to Rich. Rich down to the corner to Dejan. Back to Rich. Across to Utter. Down to Doe. Pass goes off a skate. Katz knocks it around the boards. Up against the boards. Henry Ames fighting for it. Keeping it pinned to the boards to kill clock. It's knocked loose. Doe recovers. Sends a pass through. And it's turned aside by O'Connor as Matthews almost had a score there. Now out to the neutral zone. They are forced to reset. The pass back intercepted by Henry Ames. Ames skating down around the back. Loses it along the boards. Taken by Utter. Off the boards to Doe. Doe leaves it for Matthews. Matthews up to Dejan. Dejan pass. And a one-timer from Matthews goes through for a power play goal. Quinn Matthews. With a power play goal, the second goal on the advantage for the Lancers. And just like that, Malden Catholic now up 3-0. With 8:18 on the clock. Off the face-off. It's controlled by Malden Catholic. As McMaster slides it up to Jenkins. Jenkins charging in his shot high and wide. Now taken by Chu. Slid back down to McLaughlin. He sends it around the back to Jenkins. Jenkins pass, the one-timer blocked. McMaster brings it around the back after the rebound. Whips a shot high. Jenkins sends it around the back. Gurdon blocked. Gurdon pass up to Erdman. Erdman pass across misses. Wolpowitz chased down by Chu. Chu long pass up to McMaster. His pass blocked out to the near side, taken by McLaughlin. McLaughlin to start by the forecheck, and it's taken now by Walpowitz. Pass to Guo. Goal shot, score! Max Guo off the assist from the senior Seth Walpowitz. Checking out the replay, and you can see just an aggressive forecheck. All three forwards coming out there. Walpowitz and Erdman helping to block it. Walpowitz takes it, finds a pass to a wide open Max Guo, who finishes as Brookline gets back on the board and cuts it down to a 2-goal lead. It's not an impossible comeback after that. Can this turn into something for Brookline, perhaps? Young sends it off the boards, and ultimately it's recovered by Henry Ames. Ames rushing up with it, gains the blue, turns around, tries to get a pass out but cannot. Matthews sends one off the boards, gets to Dejan. Dejan gets a little tangled up with Hounsell, puck knocked back. Tucker slides it across to Fukuda. Fukuda, long pass, gets up to Hounsell. Hounsell double teamed, and the puck taken by Katz. Katz sends it around the boards, taken by Dejan, but Dejan collides with Katz as Grady Ames takes it. Passes up to Henry Ames. Ames fends off the check and tries to slide along, but is blocked. Now Matthews comes out with it. Pass to Dejan, shot, missed wide. Might have been disrupted by the defense. Recovered by Hounsell, pass down to Dejan, now recovered by Hounsell. Hounsell scores! Patrick Hounsell with his second goal of the game, as Malden Catholic answers right back after Brookline finally gets their first goal of the game. A 4-1 lead now for the visiting Lancers with 6:26 on the clock. Off the face-off, it's again controlled by Malden Catholic. Jasaume pushes it up, but Erdman pushes it back. Gurdon pushes it back, goes up to May. May pass, gets away from Guo. Guo trying to keep on the attack, gets tangled up, and it's taken out to the neutral zone. Hayes pushes it forward. Wilson gets there first, wraps it around to Erdman, but it's wrestled loose by Rotondo. Rotondo coming around the back. Long pass back to Jasaume. Long shot saved by O'Connor. Rebound pushed just wide off the shot from Rotondo. The attempted clear goes out to the neutral zone where it's taken by Jasaume. Pass back to Utter and now up to Doe. Lost, knocked loose by May. May on the attack, but it's taken by Utter. Utter pass deflects. May tried to push it forward. Out of the scrum, it's Grady Ames coming out with it. Grady Ames trying to weave around. Too many defenders. A delayed penalty coming against Malden Catholic, and there is the whistle. Penalty now coming against the Lancers. .5:21 on the clock, and number 21, Michael Doe Jr. will be serving a 2-minute minor. Off the face-off, Erdman, quick pass back to Henry Ames. Ames across to Gurdon. Gurdon skates down to the corner, around the back, pass almost had by Henry Ames, but instead it's taken away by Chu. The attempted clear stopped by Grady Ames, sends it up to the corner. Guo pass to Erdman. Erdman slides it along the back. Henry Ames skating along the back. Gets some open space back at the point. Whips one down. Couldn't be redirected by Guo. Recovers the rebound. Pass misses. Erdman recovered by Ames. Ames tries to pass too much traffic. Recovered by Gurdon at the point. Gurdon pass down to Grady Ames. Ames tried to send a pass through. Deflected out to the corner. Henry Ames leaves it for Guo. Guo gets pinned to the boards. Gurdon recovers it. Pass down to Guo. Guo down to Henry Ames. Henry Ames approaching. Tried to jam one in. Cannot. And now it's cleared out. And it's a long pass up and a breakaway chance. Erdman chases him down. He recovers again. Can't get a shot off. Almost a big chance for Heffron, but he couldn't. And now Grady Ames skating it the other way. Ames with a chance. Shot. It's redirected high off the defense from Tucker. Puck briefly lost, but pushed forward. Gets back to Grady Ames. Ames pass through. Guo just missed it on the redirect. Guo leaves it along the boards. Erdman manages to knock it loose back to Guo. Guo approaching, pass through, redirect goes in! Connor Erdman! Brookline with a power play score of their own. It's back to a 2-goal deficit. Connor Erdman off the assist from Max Guo as we check out the replay. Guo patiently coming down the side, sends a pass through, and just a very simple redirect. Great cut towards the net by Connor Erdman. It's Erdman from Guo for the power play goal and Brookline's second score of the night. Long pass gets up to Hounsell. Pass goes off the skate of Matthews, and Gungadarin tried to move it along but got tangled up and lost his footing. Now Katz pushes it out up to Kate. Kate, long shot saved by Adazio, goes into the corner. Kate recovers it, pinned to the boards now. Couple players in there, and Fukuda comes out with it, whips it around the boards, kept on the attack by Katz. Into the corner. Gungadarin was trying to skate out with it, disrupted by Fukuda. Fukuda's pass misses Matthews. No icing as Gurdon takes it off the boards. Skates around another. Through the neutral zone he goes. Gurdon gains the blue. Gurdon leaves it back for Kate. Kate's shot missed it high. Rebound recovered by Katz. Slides it down to Gungadarin in the corner. Gungadarin trying to fend off the check from Fukuda. Gungadarin gets a pass out. The shot missed by Aptekman. Slides it around. It gets away from Gungadarin. A couple of near chances to break it to a 1-goal game, but now a big chance for McMaster. He can't finish. Stopped by Gurdon. Gurdon pinned to the boards by Fukuda. It's taken by Aptekman, but he can't get the pass away. Blocked. Now taken by Katz. Katz pass misses Gungadarin. Taken in the neutral zone by Utter. Sent back to the Brookline end. Taken now by Katz. Long pass off the boards. McMaster intercepts. McMaster battling along the boards. It's taken away by Young. Along the boards, a battle for it. Pushed back to the blue line, blocked by Utter. Utter leaves it long, shot missed wide. Now Young, a long pass blocked by the skates of Jenkins, as that was intended for Henry Ames, who would have had a breakaway chance if that wasn't blocked. A little miscommunication there between Katz and O'Connor. And now it's pinned up against the boards. Just a minute and a half left, and Brookline's got to be thinking about pulling the goalie soon. Still down by 2 with just a minute and a half left. Erdman, pass across to Young. Young skating up with it. Gains the blue. Young, long shot saved by Adazio, and he's going to cover it up. And with just a minute and 13 left in this 2-goal game, we are going to get a timeout from Brookline. 1 minute and 13 seconds. After everything, that is all that remains of the 2023-24 season for the Brookline Warriors. They can extend their season only if they manage to get 2 goals in the next minute. A monumental task against a goalie that's already managed 22 saves against 24 shots. We got a few more notes in the live chat from Ali Sternberg. LFG Brookline, amazing job this season, Jesse. Thank you so much, Ali. And then from Marlene Lyons, nice Warriors and great goal Warriors. Brookline's offense has been able to wake up here in the third and final period, but unfortunately for Brookline, the Malden Catholic offense has awoken just a bit more in this third period. 3 third-period goals for the Lancers, 2 for the Warriors, after just 1 goal from either side through the first 2. We had 5 combined goals between these two teams in this third period so far. Minute 13 left. Brookline going empty net from the jump, as it will be an offensive end face-off. Here we go. Face-off won by Brookline, but it's one too far out to the neutral zone. Cats chase it down, trying to slide it along. Deflects back, taken by Cats. Cats' pass disrupted, and they slide it. Missed it wide of the open net. Recovered by Rotondo. Shot. Missed it wide again. Brookline running out of time as Chu dumps it in. 55 seconds. Grady Ames sliding it along the back for Cats. Cats off the boards. Misses Guo. And it's knocked back off the glass, taken by Cats. Cats slides it across to Gurdon. Gurdon up to Erdman. Erdman gains the blue. Pass back to Henry Ames. Sends it forward to Guo. Guo disrupted. Can't get a clean shot off. And it's cleared out. If that slides far enough, it might be an icing. No, it is not icing. And a pass disrupted by Gurdon at the last. Around the back it slides. Erdman recovers it. Just 15 seconds left. Brookline not going to have enough time for 2 goals, but can they at least get one more? One long pass finds Henry Ames, pushes it forward to Grady Ames, knocked down by Guo. Pass misses. Grady Ames into the corner, tries to slide it along the back. 2 seconds left. One last shot, misses. And that ends the season. The final score. The Malden Catholic Lancers 4, the Brookline Warriors 2. The Lancers finish the regular season earning their 2nd win of the year as they get ready for the first round of the Division II state tournament. And for Brookline, their season comes to an end. Malden Catholic finishes the regular season at 2-17-1. Brookline finishes the season at 4-13-3. Scores for the game. We got one in the first period on a power play goal by Malden Catholic's Patrick Hounsell, assisted by Brody McMaster and Jack Tucker. And through the first 2 periods, that was the only goal from either side. But things kind of exploded in the second period. We saw a short-handed goal from Michael Moschella, assisted by Braden Hayes. Then we saw a power play goal, this time scored by Quinn Matthews, to put Malden Catholic up 3-0. Brookline didn't back down from the fight. They got their first goal on the power play from, or not from the power play, on even strength. They got their first goal from Max Guo, assisted by senior Seth Walpowitz. But then Malden Catholic answered back quickly as Patrick Hounsell scored his second goal of the day to make it 4-1. A power play goal from Connor Erdman, assisted by Guo, made it a 4-2 score, but Brookline could not manage anything else. And that is where our final score was left. We got one last note in the live chat from Marlene Lyons. Great job, Jesse. See you next year. Thank you so much, Marlene, and thank you to all the fans who tuned in throughout this season. I'm going to give one last shout-out to the seniors, and then we'll bring this home. But first, let's, give proper props to the seniors of the class of 2024 for this Brookline High boys hockey team. Lucas Pratt, Tommy May, Seth Walpowitz, Henry Ames, and Noah Gurdon. For Lucas Pratt, I didn't get to see much of you because you were playing on JV, but I'm happy you got a chance to come out here and skate with the varsity squad for one last game. And that early shot you got, even though it didn't get in, was definitely one of the highlights of tonight's game. Tommy May usually spent his time on the third or fourth forward line, but was always a favorite of his teammates and his friends. You know, a good presence on the team, even if the stats may not show it. Similar thing can be said of Seth Walpowitz, although for the first time out of all the games that I've covered, I got to see Seth Walpowitz record a point off that nice assist on Max Guo's goal. So he got an assist, and that was, you know, just really good aggressive forward pressure between him, Guo, and Erdman. And then Walpowitz with a nice pass to find Guo for Brookline's first goal tonight. So happy to see Walpowitz finish out his career with a point. And then for the captains, Henry Ames and Noah Gurdon. I've seen these two grow from, you know, second and third liners as sophomores. Watch their role on the team grow bigger and bigger as time has gone on. Like I said, I saw Gurdon play back when he was just a sophomore, playing on the second defensive line behind his older brother, Jacob Gurdon, who at the time was a senior. Got to see him assist on Jacob Gurdon's last goal of his career. And although Noah Gurdon didn't get to record a point in the last game of his career, what a career it was. You know, I got the chance to talk to Jacob Gurdon during this year's Junior Beanpot. We, you know, reflected a little on the fact that a Gurdon will know that this year's Junior Beanpot was the last time that a Gurdon would be playing in the Junior Beanpot tournament that Jacob founded back when he was like 13. And, you know, I talked about, you know, how young Noah was back when the tournament first started. And then I'll never forget. And then Jacob regarded to me, yeah, now he's better than me. And if that just doesn't say everything about how much Noah Gurdon has grown over the course of his career, to the point that his brother, who was, as those who watched the team 2 years ago would remember, a very talented defenseman for Brookline and a sophomore starter himself before in the pre-pandemic year. For him to say that about his younger brother, that just shows how much he's come along. I've talked a million times about what a talented two-way defenseman Noah Gurdon was, and Brookline leaned on that a lot over the past couple of years. But as this younger defensive core has grown, they've really learned from the example that Noah Gurdon set, and now you see other defensemen like Dylan Katz and Thomas O'Brien, and even Jamison Young. We saw some more assertive skating in the transition game today. You know, the future is bright for Brookline's defensive core, and they owe a noticeable amount of that growth to the example that Noah Gurdon set. And then Henry Ames turned, you know, just grew from, a guy who, like I said, similar to Gurdon, buried on the lower lines, on the forward lines. And the way he has grown further and further up to, you know, now he and his brother were really the anchors of this team's offense this year. And while his younger brother has one more year, this spells the end of a great career for Henry Ames. I hope to see him again on the lacrosse field this spring, but what a ride it's been following his hockey career these past few winters. You know, I wish I could say that I followed these guys from beginning to end, but obviously their freshman season was that very weird COVID year where Brookline didn't have any home games due to the pandemic, due to Boston University shutting everything down. They didn't have access to Walter Brown, and I didn't end up covering any games that season. But I've covered them for these past 3 years, and what a 3 years it's been. It's been my privilege to see this small chapter of your lives, gentlemen, and I wish you nothing but the best in your lives moving forward. Okay, one last note from Ali Sternberg. So proud of Dylan Katz and the Warriors. Great job and can't wait to watch you next year. Thank you again, Allie, and thanks again to everyone who tuned in throughout this season. You know, there are definitely the ups and downs, the bumpy roads, and obviously this didn't finish the way we ideally would have liked, but still what an experience this was. So many highlights throughout this game, whether it was the thrilling contest of the Junior Beanpot, Jack O'Connor's 50-save thriller against Wellesley, the overtime winner from Connor Erdman against rival Newton North, and so many, many more. What a ride it's been this year. And I thank you all for joining me on this, and I hope to be back again next year for another exciting hockey journey. Thank you all for tuning in. Remember, if you enjoyed this live stream, be sure to hit that like button and subscribe to the channel. Winter season may be done, but that just means the spring season is around the corner. About a month and a week away, as spring will start up around the end of March, start of April. Be sure to stay tuned for my spring sports coverage by subscribing to the channel. Thank you to all those who brought the good vibes today in the live chat. If there's anything you'd like to say after this live stream is concluded, you can say it in the comment section down below. And remember to check out the description section down below for some helpful links. Link to the official Venmo account for the Friends of BHS Hockey Booster Club if you would like to support the Brookline High boys hockey program financially. Also some links to find out more about our local charity Spotlight Brookline Cares. Find out how you can help spread the warmth to those in our community struggling with homelessness. And below that, and also on the bottom right corner of your screen, some links related to me. My personal website, jessesports.com. You can find out more about me, the freelance sports broadcasting services that I provide to various teams, and how you can commission those services for your favorite team. You can also skip past all that and just email me directly with any questions or requests you may have. And remember to follow me on Instagram, where I post highlights from previous live streams. But for this live stream, that's going to do it. Final score, Malden Catholic 4, Brookline 2. For the last time this winter season, from Walter Brown Arena in Boston, Massachusetts, I am Jesse Mayfield-Sheehan. Thank you for watching all winter long, and have a good night.